Hey everyone. Okay, so I have been working on a tool to kind of allow you to kind of auto prefix any assets you create in editor. So if I go over here, we can see under project editor of this asset name and prefix and kind of show you how this works. So we have an auto prefix example. So I can create a blueprint and I can call it my actor. And you can see that kind of prefixes with BP my actor. What I can also do is if someone in your project names something with a wrong prefix, so my actor wrong prefix, you can see how that gets updated as well. And it's not just for blueprints, this works for things like maps. So my world is a map of my world. It could be material, so my new material. What other cool things have we got? Niagara system, so I can create and you can see NS Niagara, and this pretty much works for everything. I can also kind of show what it's like. So if you're importing like loads of files, going in and kind of updating those is a bit of a pain. So you can see I have loads of like images here from our old project, and if I were to add these in, you can see that they've updated. What is also cool is we can go into our project settings, and if we scroll down the plugins, we can go to asset name and prefix, and we can actually disable this auto prefixing without having to disable the plugin. So if I turn that off and then go back here, and if I create new actor test material, and I'll even just create another one showing with a wrong prefix. So my character, I can either select all these and do apply asset name and prefix, or I can simply just select the folder and do it as well. And as you can see, that's updated those. As well as I can kind of show like how you can apply it, and regardless of how deep the folder structure goes, it will kind of just update everything as well. And then we have exposed a lot of these like parameters to you to kind of edit as you kind of go along. So you have that enable auto prefixing, which is just a master switch. Allow all pass. So at the minute it's set to false by default, meaning it will kind of go through this array, and it's set the game by default. What this is just everything in this content folder. But say you wanted to work on things inside of plugins, then you can just enable allow all pass, or you can pretty much just add the path here. And then strip old prefix. So if I disable this, I just create, let's just call it my pawn, and if I prefix this with something random, you can see it kind of does it on top. So it's just in case, like depending on how your project works, it's just flexibility there for you as well. And then we have this enable update output log. So if you don't want it like spam into your output log, and you can kind of disable it. What this kind of looks like is we have like a custom log channel set up. So if I do log asset naming, you can see it shows pretty much the old name and the new name and kind of where it's stored as well. You can go filters and you can see log asset naming. And then Before we get into the table, you have some performance things. So everyone's project runs differently depending on your PC, depending on how big your project is. So by default, your max renames would be like 5 per tick, and then tick intervals every 5 seconds. So this is very minimal, but if you want, you can increase it, you can decrease it. The numbers are kind of there for you to play about with if you really want to, but by default, these should be perfect for pretty much anyone. And then our prefix table. So I wanted to pretty much expose this to be a data table. So if you wanted to go in and change any prefix, you could, or if I've missed any, you can kind of go in and add them yourselves. So if we open this up, you can see that we kind of have this big long list of all the assets I could pretty much think of and find online in this table with the pretty much asset key and the prefix, and just an example of how that would look in editor when you do it. So if we take like aim offset, you would have aim offset AO underscore, and the example is AO underscore